Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It is best of 5 at this stage of the tournament. Once we get to the semi-finals, it will be best of 7. So going to have a little bit of waiting to do when it comes down to that. And yes, that does mean when it's best of 7 that you need to be able to have, or you should have 7 gods prepared for that best of 7, which means we will see at least 1 god from every civilization in a series, most likely. And we might see some people ignoring 1 civilization because you can go, obviously, like 3 Greek, 3 Egyptian, 1 Norse, for example, or whatever you want to pick. But best of 5 still. First game going to Suppe. Little more about Suppe here. I think the god depth thing is mostly about gods played in a tournament, because normally you don't know exactly what players have got up their sleeves, because they don't generally want to be going at maybe a less chance kind of god when playing a tournament. So, for example, Suppe will probably just be playing mostly the Norse gods, and War will be playing mostly the Atlantean gods. But when it comes down to it, Suppe actually plays quite a few gods on stream that are very, very different than his Norse gods. He plays a lot of Ra. He plays a lot of Atlantean as well. And I think I may have even seen him dabbling with the Greeks a little bit. So he does have a god pool. Not only that, Moore also has a similar thing where in outside of tournament, he will dabble in with like Ra, the Zeus god, a lot of different gods. So we'll see how things are going as the game is now loading in. And this is the map Gold Rush, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the left side of the map, playing as Zeus. His name is Moore. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Suppe. What an exciting time to be alive. The map is Gold Rush. Like we just said, it's going to be an extremely exciting map. I love this map. I think it's such an awesome idea, and it comes from like Age of Empires 2, right? And the idea is simple. Wood is on the outside. The next layer is Hunt, and then the next layer is Gold. And the thing that is different about Age of Empires 2 compared to Mythology is in Age of Empires 2, you don't actually need gold to produce units. So getting cut off gold isn't, like, it's bad because gold units are generally better in Age of Empires 2, but it's not the be all and end all. You can still continue in the game and try and make a comeback with kind of like what they call trash units, which are units which don't cost gold. But in Age of Mythology, there's very few units that you can build, very few military units you can build which don't cost gold. So controlling the middle of the map here is everything. Now, on top of that, the other thing that is like kind of, it's not necessarily unique, but it's not something that happens in every single other map, is that the town center spawns, they kind of always spawn in a circle. So you get 2 town centers over both sides of the map here, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Not only that, because the town centers spawn over there, there is normally going to be an insanely good second town center to grab in these games. So gods like Hades here, gods like Ra, they're going to have a lot of fun going for a second town center, but then they might find themselves dropping games to really, really strong 1 town center kind of fast mythic gold staff strategies, like thinking about Matrius's like pure Hippocon Chimera strategy seems like will be a really, really good idea on this map against, say, like someone who decides to play Ra here, for example. So there's a lot of really nuanced strategy to think about in this map. So we'll talk a little bit about the matchup though, because we haven't actually seen that yet. We've got Zeus versus Oranos. Now, I'm not sure what the best strategy to do is on this map for Zeus. You do have to remember that it's 2 gold mines in the main base. You get 2 medium gold mines in your main base. So going for a really aggressive rush might not be the best way to play from the Zeus side of things. Generally speaking, when you go for an Athena rush against an Atlantean player, if you aren't able to push off Hunt and Gold, or at least just push off Hunt and get some really good pressure onto the gold mine, things go pretty poorly for you. So we'll see what Moore's going to come up with here in this game. If he's going to go out with the Athena, or if he's going to go with Hermes. The Hermes is the other option, going in with, say, what do you call it? Hermes Centaurs. Centaur, Hoplite, Hippocon is generally the option there. From the Soup side of things, playing Oranos, look at this. He's decided to go through Prometheus here very, very early. Prometheus isn't the spicy thing, but the advance time is the spicy thing as he manages to hit a very, very clean, not quite 355, but I think it's pretty close to 355 here. The boars on this map helping him out quite a bit. Nice and close to the town center, easy to eat. Beautiful to see. So he's going for a very fast advance time. We'll see how it's all going to go, as he does need to move his citizen over onto the back wood here to get his barracks down. And we'll see what sort of an army composition he wants to go for in this game, as he is bringing his oracles back home, which I, for one, do think is a really smart idea. I think it's a great idea to bring your oracles home and potentially... Wait, did he build another oracle? He built another oracle. I don't know why. Don't ask me why he built another oracle, but he built another oracle here. He's got himself 4 as the oracles pulling back here. We see a counter barracks coming down. No military. There's the military barracks coming up for Soup as his oracles coming back. Now, normally, this is exactly what I reckon should happen. You want to cast Valor immediately, because what it does is it means you get your second Valor faster in the game, earlier in the game. So that can be a really big boost to your economy. You get an extra hero citizen out earlier, which means more economy for you. You get the pressure to put onto your opponent, which is good as well. Your attack is going to hit with a Promethean instead of just with those Oracle heroes, so it does a little bit more damage. But we'll see how things are going to go here, as the villagers on this temple over here are going to be getting Sylvan Lore. And we will be seeing Hermes 4 more as the Jason coming through. Will we see the bolt down onto this onto one of these oracles or not? As the Jason going to come over here and start slapping away. No turnaround micro there from Soup. As this is a fantastic idea. Picking off a granary here, 100% worth it. It's only 50 wood, but it stops the villagers from gathering for quite some time. In fact, he's leaving this here with 1 HP. That's the biggest bait I've ever seen here. He leaves it with 1 HP, but he can just come back with a Terma and then just take that out. As you do see these villagers, they are over onto this location over here. As the citizen pulling back over here, needs to be very careful not to lose that citizen. This is one of the hard parts of playing Oranos in this matchup, is players running around with their centaur and being very, very annoying. As the centaur coming over here, is there a gap in this? There is a gap here, as this citizen over here is going to start getting pushed off of the wood. Going to have to pull that one back, as a Katoskopos coming in onto this location, as the army swinging around here looking for some pressure onto more over here, as the Jason getting pushed back. We do see that the citizen has gotten back into the main base over here, into the town center. Is this centaur going to continue to run around Soup's base? You're still got to be very careful as the heroes coming back in here. This citizen making a break for the mana as his units retreating back. We do see 1 unit has dropped here for Soup as he has to pull back into his main base. We see the Katoskopos getting chased away over here as the centaur does come back into this location. Soup trying to defend this as best as he can, as Mora is going full send on the centaur micro. Around about this moment here, the second Valor will be available for Soup. You don't really want to be using it on Terma, though. You want to be using it on the Mamillo heroes to deal with these centaur, but there is still a bolt remaining for more in this game, which will help him out a little bit as the army coming through here. And I think there's a bit of a mistake here from Moore to take this one, because I mean, we do see Valor unfortunately doesn't get any Murmillo here, as the centaur coming into this location do manage to snipe 1 villager here. Nice play by Moore, gets 1 citizen kill. Not the end of the world here for Soup, but he is throwing units away left, right, and center as his army trying to retreat back home here. We do see the Hippocon coming in onto this location as well, as this looks like these citizen over here might be getting pushed off here, as Soup needs to regroup, send all of his units up onto this location. We do see the Oracle hero still alive over here, going to be bringing that relic back in. It is the nose of the Sphinx. That will help defending it in this game, as a couple more units getting sniped over on this location as the hero Oracle does manage to come through here. We're still seeing Soup trying to take these fights, trying to get little bits of chip damage down. He's got his, where does those heroes Terma come? There they are, coming back into this fight, trying to chase this down. We do see the Terma getting a couple of hits here. Big shockwave coming in, as the Terma should be able to pick off a centaur or 2 hit. Does he get the second one? Not quite able to, as the centaur does pull back. The easiest way to take these fights now, as the Oranos player, as he does manage to hold over here, is to make sure you target different centaur with all of your Terma to force them all back, preventing them from actually engaging in the fight here. As the more units do turn around, they will snipe a Murmillo there on the retreat path. Nice play there, but I like what Soup's doing here. I feel like he's not panicking that much. Yes, he's losing units, and yes, that's not what you want to be doing. However, he's still in front on population, and he should be kind of fine in terms of the villages here as well. As the centaur, they are coming through onto this location, but Suppe is already in position with the Terma here to defend. The village is happily going to be eating up these Aurochs, as well as the Terma, or as the centaur coming through to try and get some attacks. Over here, the centaur... You're making me nervous here, Suppe, as the villagers jump into that manor and barely dodge that one there, as the villagers do come back over onto this Auroch over here. They're starting to throw some more military buildings down. It is time to drop that archery range and start getting out some Toxotes here, as well as 2 citizens sitting in this sentry tower. Not really sure what they're doing over here, but we do see an attempt at potentially a second town center here for Suppe, as both those villagers moving onto that location. I think maybe dropping the house there first to keep those citizens nice and safe, wouldn't go astray, as the units pumping out over here. Moore's got some good economy going here. He's 75 of 75 population, going to be happy about the position he's in, but it's still losable in this situation, especially against Oranos and especially on this map, as we do see the centaur coming through, getting a little bit of damage over here as another centaur coming in onto this location here. Suppe needs to get that fixed up as Moore gets the pressure in, going to be retreating away with those centaur, as the Terma now going to be getting under attack by the Hippocon. These villagers have to sit here idly by for a little bit longer as the town center coming up. We see these units over here sitting idly by, as well as I imagine another Valor must be available fairly soon, as the Oracle sitting on this location over here. The citizen over here going to start getting sniped down as this citizen does go down. Beautiful play there by Moore, still putting pressure through onto this game. 12 citizen to 35 citizen. It's roughly equal, to be honest, in terms of income here, but equal is not where you want to be in the shoes of the Oranos player. You want to be in front. That is the aim of the game, as the town center does come up. However, this map is what I call a one town center Zeus map. This is the map that I would go one town center on most of the time playing Zeus here. The reason being is that Lightning Storm at around about the 15-minute mark here is absolutely game ending for a 2-town center Atlantean player here. Lightning Storm, Bellerophon, plus you get the third trifecta, which is the Medusa, which can be incredibly difficult to stop, and around that 15 to 16-minute mark here. As now the Moor center in on this location, running around with a Hippocon here as well, checking things out, as the citizen going to be trying to eat this Auroch over here right underneath the manor. Nice and defensive as the units pushing across the map here for more, as Suppe does notice that he's going to have to pull back over here, as the centaur going to be entering the base of Suppe yet again. Suppe's got a lot of resources in the bank here, ready to drop that. Getting another counter barracks here, as he does seem like he's going to have a bit of problems moving forward. No armory just yet for him, as the centaur searching around the map. The units here trying to fight, but we've got mostly Terma here, as the centaur over on this location going to take this fight here, and it looks like this is going to be a very difficult fight here to survive, as those centaurs split beautifully there from Moore's perspective. Bolt there onto one of those hero Murmillo, as the hero citizen coming over here to take down the centaur on the back here. Terma trying to do the best that they possibly can to deal with all of this, but the centaur are able to clean up the majority of the units here. Suppe dropping down to 72 of 130 population, as the Greek army cleans nearly everything up in this game, as the citizen over here trying to take down the centaur, but doesn't do all too much damage, to be honest. 2 myth units. It's just a tanky beast, as the citizen's falling left, right, and center, as Suppe's got to be kicking himself for dropping this town center instead of trying to get to the heroic age, getting himself access to Stymphalian birds, getting him access to dryads, getting him access to a bunch of extra upgrades, which have really helped him here. He's going to attempt to repopulate his army, getting out some Cairo Ballista to deal with those hoplites over here, as the village is going to be repairing this town center back up. Moore's still pumping out units as best as he can. He's now eating Auroch around on this location. There's still plenty of hunt around on the sides of the map here, as the Terma going to push forward here, trying to take out those Toxotes as best as he can. He does manage to take those both out here, as the villagers returning in here, still trying to defend this location as best as he can. So has 80 favor in the bank, but just not that many resources here to make himself hero units. It's such a vital part of the Oranos game plan. And what was that? Moore must have misclicked ceasefire here, as Suppe is going to use this opportunity to come over onto this gold line. And this is a big, big misstep from Moore here with that ceasefire. It's going to give Suppe back a lot of time here to get units back out and potentially be able to win a follow-up fight here. We'll see how it's going to go. This is going to be a tough comeback for Suppe, but Moore's been playing this one incredibly well. He's controlling the map beautifully here as this catapult. I'm not sure what it was doing, but it's hanging across the map, not doing a whole lot, as we do see a town center now coming down for Moore. Given how far ahead Moore is, I don't think it's necessarily a mistake, but I don't think it's the cleanest way to play. He's actually getting 2 town centers during this ceasefire, as these citizen here, they're going to get caught out on this location, going to be going for a little bit of a pathing block as they're trying to make their way back over to the town center. We do see the units now coming back over here. We've got 92 population for Suppe as 1 citizen goes down. The rest do manage to get back into this town center, and they should be completely fine here as Moore has to pull back over here. We do see 3 citizen kills over here by Moore as he is controlling this game absolutely beautifully, showing off his multitasking skills with the Zeus god in this game. Super, super strong here. We do see the hoplites coming back in over here as Moore is sending in his Sippicon to try and take down the Caraballister on the back. We're still seeing a desperate attempt here for Suppe to hold on, but Moore is now 3 town centers. He's 115 of 145 population. He's got 47 villages. He's going to have to start, well, he doesn't actually have to start throwing farms down because there's plenty of hunt here, as well as the centaur coming in onto this location, sniping another centaur here as Moore citizen going down, as Suppe is still trying to focus over here on trying to pick off the centaur of Moore, as Moore's going to be retreating back as the citizen over here is not paying attention, as more citizen are going to be going down here. Suppe's getting completely decimated in this game, and in that moment, Suppe does decide to tap out. An absolute clinic here by More Zeus on how to play Hermes against Oranos. This was absolute peak Zeus play, played with those centaur perfectly. Suppe not quite ready to deal with such a high-level Zeus game here with his Oranos. He tried his best, did manage to get into a decent position. I feel like if he didn't go for this town center, went to the heroic age, either Hyperion or Thea here, and went into Contarius, and just made Contarius heroes to try and run around and take out those centaur, would have been a completely different story. But he didn't manage to do that. Moore gets the dub. More levels of the series, going on to game number 3.